Okay, welcome to Muslim Apologetics Australia. So I'm going to show you an interview by a captured Israeli by Hamas. Her name is Mia Schem. She's a freed Israeli hostage in her first interview since her release. Now, what's very, very interesting about this, sometimes you need to let them speak, and when they speak and open their mouths, they actually expose themselves. Remember the arguments used by Ben Shapiro, where Ben Shapiro said, no one in Gaza is innocent. They are all the same. Whether it's men, women, or children, no one is innocent in Gaza. They are all guilty because the men, women, and children, and this is children included, they cheer for Hamas rockets being fired to Israel. So imagine this, folks. The Zionist Jews actually justify killing men, women and children who are non-enemy combatants. However, they are enemy combatants because they support Hamas, they support and cheer for the Hamas rockets. And they say this is now a justification in massacring and killing women and children in Gaza. Whether they participated in the war, the fact that they have cheered for the rocket, this proves their participation in the war, which proves a legitimacy to kill women and children. So when you see Gaza completely destroyed and all the buildings destroyed, this isn't a genocide. This isn't an ethnic cleansing. This is justified because no one is innocent in Gaza. And then I ask myself the question, what happened to the age of consent? What happened to children being separated from adulthood? What happened to judging children differently and judging adults differently? What happens to the definition between a child and an adult? It seems to me there is no difference between a child and an adult, and they're literally holding children responsible just the way they hold adults responsible. Because the same West, the same superior West, continuously tells us that we should not judge children and we should not prosecute children in adult courtrooms. There should be a different legal firm for children and a different legal firm for adults. Why do they do this? Because they say that children's brains are not developed. They aren't adults yet. They're considered children. Therefore, we should not be judging them in the same way we judge adults. That's what you'd think is right. Correct? But when it comes to Israel bombing civilians and bombing children, those children are judged as like they're judged as adults. They're no longer judged as children. They're judged as adults. They're all the same. They're all the same, right? Now imagine, folks, imagine for a second if the Palestinian military made the same argument. Imagine they said there is no difference between women and children in Israel, in Tel Aviv. There's no difference. We can kill them all because they all support Netanyahu. They all support the genocide of the Palestinians. They hate the Arabs. They cheer for Israeli drones bombing and massacring Palestinian towns. So therefore, it is completely legitimate to kill their women and children. Imagine if that was a legitimate protocol. Imagine that was a legitimate rule. Of course, that would be deemed as terrorism, right? That would be deemed as terrorism. But Israel gets away with this. Have a look what she says. This is the lady that they say is innocent. She was abducted from the Nova Festival and she's completely innocent. This is what the Israelis would say, right? Let's listen to how innocent she is. Now, folks, before I play this video, I am not justifying at all for what Hamas did. You know, Hamas went into the Nova Festival and started shooting women and men, and and taking this lady, for instance, as captive and so forth. I'm not justifying and I'm not supporting that, but what I'm expressing is the hypocrisy and the double standards, because Ben Shapiro will tell you that no one is innocent in Gaza, including the women and the children. Now, have a look. And he says that the people in Nova, they were all innocent. They were just minding their business. They were all innocent, and they don't really support the killing and the murder of Palestinians and so forth. Well, let's see now how innocent Mia Shem is. Let's have a listen.
פגשתי את הילדים שלו, כאילו, אתם היו נכנסים מדי פעם לחדר, להסתכל עליי, כאילו אני איזה חיה שמלטפים אותה. הייתה איזה פעם אחת שהילד שלו נכנס לחדר, עם שקית ממתקים, מביא לאבא כזה, פותח את השקית וזה, בא לידי, פותח את השקית, סוגר אותה והולך. כאילו, אתה יודע, רוע טהור. אין שם אזרחים תמימים. זה משפחות תחת החמאס. זה ילדים שמהרגע שהם יוצאים לאוויר העולם, מחנכים אותם שישראל זה פלסטין, פשוט לשנוא את היהודים.
מיה סגורה בחדר בחוץ מלחמה. שבועיים לפני הפסקת האש, צה"ל...
Okay, so you heard that. You heard that from her. This is the lady that was just minding her business, that she was just at a rave party at the Nova Festival, and, you know, she really didn't support her government in the sense that she didn't support a genocide. You know, Ben Shapiro and all those Zionists will say, these are just all innocent Jews, and these innocent Jews do not, they don't preach any sort of genocide against the Palestinians, and they're all about peacemaking, and they're just about human rights. And yet this lady is saying, because the child refused to give her candy, they are all evil. They are all evil, and they're not innocent. No one, she says, no one is innocent in Gaza. So this innocent lady that was dancing at the borders of Gaza, minding her own business at a dance rave party, comes on TV and says they're all evil and justifies Israel massacring and killing women and children because she says they're pure evil, and when they are born to hate Jews. Now let's just reverse the narrative. Suppose this lady, Mia, was actually a Palestinian Arab. Suppose she was captured by Israel, and Israel kept her in their dungeons. And then there was a prison exchange, and Mia, suppose she's a Muslim Arab Palestinian, she then comes back to Gaza in a prison exchange. She's now saved. And then she comes on live TV, Palestinian TV, and then she says that the Jews, they're pure evil and no one is innocent. No one is innocent in Israel. They're all pure evil. This includes the women and children. They're all pure evil, and none of them are actually innocent in Israel. All the Jews and all the Westerners would be up in arms. They'd say, you see, look, we've released a prisoner. We gave her back to Hamas, and look what she's saying. She's saying that we're all terrorists, that we're all killers, and none of us are innocent, including the children. You see how evil these people are? You see how bad these people are? That's exactly what you'd say. And in fact, you would say this is proof and a justification that no one is innocent in Gaza, and all of them deserve to be killed, including the women. Because these are the women we capture. We capture these women and they're all giving death and destruction, and they're preaching hatred against all Jews, right? That's exactly what you guys would say. And so there is a clear double standard here. There is an absolute clear double standard. When the United States of America bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they targeted a civilian population, over 120,000 people dead. 120,000 people dead. Do you know what America said? America said no one was innocent in Japan. No one was innocent in Hiroshima or Nagasaki, because all of those people, they supported, this includes the women and the children, they all supported a tyrannical government, which is the Japanese government. Because they supported such a government, this means no one was innocent and they all deserved to get perished by the atom bomb. This is the same argument used by Israel. Israel says there is no one innocent in Gaza. They all support Hamas. Therefore, they all deserve to die. Now, interestingly enough, the Palestinian foreign minister to the UK also said, and this is what he said that no one is innocent in Israel, especially those who are living on the borders of Gaza and the West Bank, because they're the same Jews who actually work on cyber to collect data and information and technology to kill and besiege my people. And they glorify Israel, saying Israel is only for the Jews. Therefore, they are just as guilty as Benjamin Netanyahu. So notice, all three groups have justified the killing of innocents. America has justified the killing of innocents, saying they're not innocent. Israel has justified the killing of innocents, saying they're not innocent and they deserve to die. And you see Hamas spokespersons also justify the killing of women and children because they sit on the border besieging the people, and you see people like Mia calling for the death and the destruction of all Arabs because no one is innocent. But funny enough, only one of them is depicted as terrorists, that is only Hamas, but Israel is free from terrorism. despite preaching the same message, and America is free from terrorism despite preaching the same message. That is, none of them are innocent, including women and children, because they all support an evil government. So folks, it's interesting. Remember I spoke about the age of accountability and the age of consent. The age of accountability and the age of consent no longer exists when it comes to war. Apparently you're a child in the modern world, in the secular world, in the liberal world. You know, if you are a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old, you shouldn't be judged as an adult. But apparently if you are a Palestinian kid and you're a 6-year-old, you're a 7, you're an 8-year-old, then you should be judged. You should be killed and you should be tried as just as an adult would.